Good evening, my dear friends. What's happening? What's happening? Even I don't know. But the thing which I know is that I'm back with the fifth episode of my video podcast, Candid Convos. And as usual, who do we have today? I don't have any idea. What is he going to speak and why is he here? So I will let Mr. Guest introduce himself and let's see what's there in store for us. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. So, who am I? I'm Hemant. What do I do? Oh, to say in heavy terms, I am an actual analyst by profession. But to keep it light, I'm someone who loves to solve puzzles and someone who loves to be around children and someone who has been tolerating this other person as a friend. So that is who I am.
Wow, this is just wonderful, Hemant. I mean, nobody has ever matched my style, the kind of way that you started, right? Hi, I am Hemant. It's the same like how I started. Hi, guys, what are you doing? Candid convos and all that stuff. So, yeah, I really loved it the
Yeah,
way.
that was my intention, trying to match your standards.
Yeah, so it was really great that you matched my vibe. So I'm really, really happy right now. Okay, so before before moving ahead, so you told us that who you are and but why you are here.
To talk about something interesting.
Okay, and dude, I'm not going to introduce the topic. You have to do that.
Okay, so the topic for today is volunteering. What exactly does volunteering mean? So,
Excuse me.
all of,
Wait,
uh
this is my
okay, that
show.
is
This
your
is
job.
my
Okay,
podcast.
okay,
I will ask the question.
okay.
Yeah, so ideally, I would have introduced the topic as well if that would have been the case. But yeah, let me ask the question. Uh, so, guys, today we are going to talk about volunteering. I know it sounds very cliched. Volunteering, okay, what is it? What is so great about it, and all that stuff. So today we are going to go a little deeper into this volunteering and try to know the core. What exactly do we get from volunteering? Why is it such a useful aspect of our lives? And how it can help us to become a better version of ourselves. So, before getting into all this stuff, let me just start with a very simple question. What is volunteering? So, Hemant, can you please tell us?
Volunteering, I'll say that volunteering is something which you do to give back to the society. That is, in simplest terms, volunteering is something which you do where you are not being paid for what you do. And when you're not being paid for what you do, uh, the intention, see, when you go to your office, the intention, maybe you like doing what you do, definitely many people do. But one of the major intentions is to get paid for what you are doing. But volunteering is something which you do uh, out of interest, something to give back to the society, which is doing so much for you.
Okay. So, just a question here. So, I think
Mhm,
most of the people want to do something, right, for others.
mhm.
They want to give back to the society. But the thing is, I think the first thing which I hear usually is we don't have time. Who has time? We have families, we have career, we have so much of things to do. Where do I get time? So what answer you would like to give?
To this question, I'll say, see, volunteering is something which has been there is wrong perception about volunteering. I'll tell you what I mean by that is whenever you say volunteering, it comes as something serious which you are doing. But to be frank, it is not something very serious which you are doing. If you're volunteering, you will enjoy way more than uh, any other activity, I'll say. Because when you're volunteering, say, for example, if you're volunteering for children, for example, you will be around children, like, and those any child will bring out the naughtiest version of you out of you. And when people say that I don't have time for volunteering, right? Then the simplest thing which I can tell them is, do you spend time doing a party on Saturday for like 4 or 5 hours? If your answer is yes, you definitely have time for at least 1 hour of volunteering. And it see, there are people who invest their entire life into doing something for the society. Everyone need not be like that. Even if you spend half an hour in a week, that is great. That is like wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, you made a really good point here, because we think that, oh, so I don't have time. Who will devote so much of time? But the thing is that you just have to make a start. Just start committing half an hour in a week
Hmm.
and just see how it goes. And if you will really feel very much dedicated to the cause, you might increase the time in future. So you have that much of flexibility. But the problem is that people don't even start because they have so many things which come into their mind, that, oh no, this will happen, that will happen, who has time? I'm already messed up in my life. What else I'm going to give to the society? Right? So many things. So basically, self doubt or whatever, procrastination or overthinking, all of this comes into picture, and then what happens next. So,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
going.
you made a
Mhm.
very good point. Ki, starting is something which takes a lot of effort. But once you start, from my experience, I'll tell you that if you start doing this once, you will not want to move out of it. I'll give you a personal example. When I started volunteering, I used to stay in Calcutta. When I came to Bangalore, for I didn't continue volunteering that time, but after a month or so, I was like, टू कुछ भी हो जाए मुझे वापस volunteering करना है. I want to get back to it. So I approached the same NGO here, but luckily the same NGO was present in Bangalore as well. So I approached those people and I said, yeah, I want to join immediately. So yeah,
Nice. This
that
is
happens
really
once you
nice.
start.
Yeah, so that is what the problem is, yeah, Hemant. With lot of things, we want to do so much of things in our life, but the thing is, we
Mhm.
don't even make a start. At least if we make a start, then we can take a call. But the problem is this
Mhm.
only, right? So yeah, I'm not going to go into human mind and how it works and all. That is a topic that can be a topic for some other time, maybe. But yeah, I mean, this is very
Yeah.
important. So I just thought that I will just say it. Okay, so let's get back to the topic. So, can you tell us where you are volunteering and what is this specific cause which you are dedicated
Uh,
towards?
I'm volunteering for an NGO called Child Rights and You. So Child Rights and You, it is more renowned as CRI. So CRI works for the cause of children, as the name itself suggests, and uh, basically it works for everything that is related to child rights, the basic rights of any child, the right to get good education, to have good healthcare system for themselves, to ensure that a child is not involved in child labor, does not get married off at an early age, is not abused in any manner. So all the topics which might affect a child's life.
Okay, okay. So it's purely like towards child, right? Everything, rights,
Yes.
education, abuse, and all. Okay, so what kind, like maybe when you first visited this cry, so what did you
Mhm.
see? What did you see, and what was your experience?
So in CRI, whenever someone wants to join as a volunteer, there is one thing which you have to start with is volunteer orientation. So what pushed me to become a volunteer is that when I attended that volunteer orientation, there was a CRI employee, Anindita ma'am. She had been working in CRI for a very long time. She had when she shared her own experience, that kind of struck me like it struck me a lot. She has dedicated her whole life to this. Okay, and there are many such employees of CRI. When I heard her story, that is what influenced me. In the first visit, I definitely didn't meet any children. It was just an orientation of volunteers. But once I started visiting, doing groundwork, when I started working with children, I started interacting with them. That was something like I enjoyed it so much that I remained there. Like in the beginning, I used to teach children for a pretty long time. I think I used to teach children, and it is very different from teaching children in a school. See, when you are in a school, you can tell a child that this is your homework, you have to do this, you have to do that, and as you are a teacher, a child follows you. But when you are going as an individual, you have to become his or her friend if you want to teach them. So you have to play games with them, you have to show them movies, you have to celebrate festivals with them, do many different things to keep them engaged. And along with that, you have to teach them. Yeah, so you have to celebrate festivals with them. You have to keep doing something interesting for them. Otherwise, you will not be able to teach them. थोड़ी देर पढ़ाओगे, like after half an hour they will say कि भैया हो गया, अब कुछ अब मैं नहीं पढ़ रहा, and after that you cannot say anything to them. That child will stand up and run away कि मैं नहीं पढ़ रहा अब. So मुझे कुछ story सुनाओ, मुझे कुछ game खिलाओ. So that is like fun as well as different.
Yeah, I'm not sure about fun. It can be fun for a child, but it is a challenge for you, I guess, right?
हाँ,
Because
but then when you play game, you also
हाँ
enjoy, ना?
हाँ वो भी है. Okay, so I am not familiar with this concept, Hemant. Okay, that you don't want to study. Okay, I don't want get lost. I'm not familiar with this concept. For me, if for me it used to be very like kind of strict that dude, this is your study time, this is your TV time, this is your play time. Okay, so you can't mix it up. So that's how it used to be me. But now that you're saying it, like how you are teaching children, so it looks very interesting to me. At least they are having fun while they are learning, right? And of course it sticks whenever you learn something. Just doing fun, it sticks always, and people enjoy it. So yeah, that's there. सो ठीक है, यहाँ मैंने अपना चाइल्डहुड का वो बता दिया. चाइल्डहुड का दुख जो है कि अरे मुझे तो नहीं मिला ये गेम्स खेलने का. ठीक है.
Yeah. भाई हमारे चाइल्डहुड में we used to go to school, पढ़ो वरना that
Ah.
you will get a slap. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh man. I still remember like my mom, she used to be behind me because I was never that much keen on studies, especially like till I would say second class, third class, right? I was never that child who used to just stick at like sit at one place and just study. No,
Mm-hmm.
I became like that because my mom literally was after my life. That pado, pado,
Yeah.
sit, pado. And that's how I became later. Though I became this bookworm, you say, right? Like literally a bookworm. I was always with my
Mm-hmm.
books. I was always, you will always find me in library. Like till you won't believe till my college, till my college,
Wow.
it sticked with me. I couldn't have fun. I was like, no, I have to study. Like people are
I
like
can't
going.
believe that's the same Kavita.
Exactly. Even I can't believe. if if you will ask somebody from like who had seen me in college, the kind of details they will give you about me, you will feel, oh man, what had happened to this girl, right? Because it's very
Uh,
very different. The way I am now, the way you see me
mhm.
now, I was not like that. I never used to even speak to people. That's how I was. I used to be
And now you
just with
don't
my
stop.
books. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, now I can't stop. Yeah, so that's how it is. Okay, so
वो जितना बचपन में नहीं बोला ना सब एक बार में निकल रहा है.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's something which is very interesting. What else do you do there? I mean, first of all, what how you devote
Mhm.
time? Like you have the schedule, or you can go whenever you want.
No, it basically works with a schedule only. There are different kind of volunteering activities, but I used to work in the beginning. I used to work on weekends. Every Sunday we had early in the morning we used to go to a place to teach children. But after that, I worked on different projects. Kabhi weekdays pe it used to happen. Like before college, I used to go there. So I've worked on many different things. Majorly, it was on child education, but उसके अलावा like वो होता है ना कि if you have a business, then you have to do anything and everything. Similarly, it goes with volunteers. So you get involved with everything. Like I have worked for organizing soccer match. I have worked for organizing book drive to start a library, then health camp, then worked on sessions on child sexual abuse. So then I briefly worked on organizing an MUN as well, but somehow I was not able to take out time that time. तो उसमें ज़्यादा detail में नहीं work किया, but yeah, like I worked on many different things.
So I'm sure, like itna sab, when we do so many things, right? It's not easy
Mm-hmm.
because it's real life which you are dealing with, right? You're really working on ground, and that is really different from the life which we as people working in IT have, right? We think
Mm-hmm.
that laptop is the life, right? So how was that
Mm-hmm.
experience for you? Like don't you think there is
Uh-huh.
you don't feel a contrast there? Don't you feel that every like every
Mm-hmm.
weekday I just stay in front of my laptop, I do my work, and then you go there and then you volunteer, right? So I feel
Mm-hmm.
it is like a different world, right?
It definitely is. Like not just that day, but when you work for some time, na, after that, it gives you a completely different perspective to things. Like very different perspective. So, for example, when earlier someone used to come, when I used to meet a beggar, okay, the perspective which I used to have at that time and the perspective which I have right now is so much different. Like, uh, like this is something which I generally do. Like I have had discussions with many people on this topic बहुत ज़्यादा कि whether you should give something to a beggar or not. So after I worked with Kai, I honestly stopped giving something to beggars. So it might sound contrasting कि you have volunteered, तो तुमने वो देखा होगा about society, but after that I stopped doing that because see, when you are giving something to a beggar, you are just creating a very short, like an impact for a very short period of time. अभी उसकी भूख मिट गई, but for the next meal, he or she will again beg. Okay.
Correct.
So by giving something to a beggar, you are just creating more beggars. So, matlab, Cry में the tagline which Cry has is ensuring lasting change in the lives of children. So
Correct.
that is something like it is not wrong to give someone food, but along with food, कुछ ऐसा भी दो कि फ्यूचर में मे बी 4-5 साल बाद वो इंसान अपने लिए खुद कुछ कर पाए. So उसके साथ मतलब बहुत बहुत पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो जाता है आपका. लाइक I'll say कि right now I'm a very patient person. तो उसमें भी I'll say कि Cry had a lot of impact. मतलब when I started, तो ऐसा होता था कि कोई बच्चा बदमाशी कर रहा है तो गुस्सा आ जाता था, चिल्ला दिया उस बच्चे पे, डांट दिया. बट with time I learned कि नहीं, I cannot do this. This is not correct. अगर मुझे किसी बच्चे को पढ़ाना है, कुछ सिखाना है, तो I cannot be मतलब मैं इरिटेट नहीं हो सकता, मैं उस पर चिल्ला नहीं सकता, मुझे पेशेंटली उसे कुछ सिखाना होगा. सो वो पेशेंस आया, काफी सारी चीजें चेंज हुई. एंड आई विल से कि काफी फन डेफिनेटली किया है मैंने बच्चों के साथ खेल के, मस्ती करके, या बट एट द सेम टाइम काफी ऐसे मोमेंट्स भी है व्हेन आई वाज कंप्लीटली ब्लैंक कि ये क्या हो रहा है, हाउ डू आई फेस दिस सिचुएशन, क्या करूं मैं. मतलब वैसी सिचुएशंस भी रही है. So, for example, if I tell you, there was one moment when I was working on child sexual abuse. तब we came across a girl. ठीक है, she was in class 7 or 8. ठीक है, she was suffering from polio, and we came to know that she was being sexually abused by her own father. Okay, that was the worst thing which I have faced. मतलब मैं उस टाइम पे completely blank हो गया था, मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ आया कि मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. मतलब जैसे Kai does work on child sexual abuse, but बहुत briefly. It comes more under the work of an NGO like Childline. So Childline उस पे डिटेल में वर्क करता है. तो मतलब उस टाइम पे मैं completely blank हो गया था, मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ आया कि मैं क्या करूं. तो ऐसे मोमेंट्स भी रहे हैं. तो yeah, it's both, you face good situations as well as bad.
Yeah, I mean, just about listening to it makes you feel so bad, right? Imagine that you are literally standing in front of that person who went through all that, who had faced all that. So
एंड इसमें पता है मतलब और एक चीज जो हुई आफ्टर दैट, आई रियलाइज कि बचपन में होता था ना कि स्कूल में कोई एक बच्चा है जिसका सब मजाक उड़ाते हैं. तो मतलब मे बी बचपन में हमने भी वो किया होगा, डेफिनेटली किया होगा हम सबने. बट उस चाइल्ड को देख के आई हैड सीन दैट चाइल्ड फॉर लॉन्ग. तो मैंने हमेशा से देखा था कि क्लास में सब उसकी मजाक उड़ाते थे, सब बोलते थे कि भैया उसे छोड़ दो, वो नहीं पढ़ रही, वो नहीं पढ़ने वाली. बट देन जब वो चीज पता चली ना उस बच्ची के बारे में, तब लगा कि यार हम ऐसे ही किसी का कुछ भी मजाक उड़ा देते हैं, कुछ भी कर देते हैं, बट वी डोंट नो एनीवन स्टोरी.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, and at the same time I sometimes feel that kitna kam empathy hai. That's what I feel, that we lack empathy, right? No matter how much we say अरे ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, अरे वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए, what steps do we take? Do we do our best? नो, वी आर लाइक ठीक है कोई और कर लेगा, वो है ना वो कर लेंगे, ये है ना ये कर लेगा. वी जस्ट शिफ्ट द ब्लेम. एवरीबडी, यू नो राइट, ऑल दिस न्यूज
हम्म,
कम एवरी डे, यहाँ रेप हो गया, ये हो गया. क्या होता है, क्या होता है,
हाँ
राइट? सो
तो
यू
वही है
जस्ट
यार.
फील बैड, you just feel bad for 1 or 2 days, and then it's back to square one, because we are like कोई और है जो करेगा. जब तक वो नहीं जाएगा ना तब तक.
Basically it is like कि we are running away from the reality.
हाँ हाँ, करेक्ट
एंड
करेक्ट.
ये भी मुझे लगता है कि बहुत लोग बोलते हैं लाइक earn so much and then donate to NGOs. NGOs will work and do something better for the society. But मुझे लगता है कि the impact which you have by actually volunteering, वो अलग ही impact होता है. मतलब एक तो definitely you create impact, but आपके खुद के ऊपर भी बहुत impact होता है उस चीजों का. मतलब आप अगर खुद volunteer कर रहे हो, you will feel connected. आप if you give donations you will not feel connected. I'm not
हाँ
saying कि donate मत करो, but along with donating I'll say कि everybody मतलब at least एक बार लाइफ में volunteer करके देखना चाहिए. How is it like?
हाँ हाँ. और लाइक मैंने एक जगह ये पढ़ा था कि the biggest donation which you can give is not in the form of money, it's your time, right? That is the biggest form
Hmm.
of donation which you can give to somebody, because if you're giving time, you're giving a part of your life to somebody, right? And like
Yeah.
I think it means so much, right? When you're literally sharing a part of your life to a cause, then it shows that
Hmm.
you really care for it, rather than just giving money. Oh, okay, I have money, okay, इतना दे दिया हर महीने. क्या है उसमें, कुछ नहीं है, राइट? जब तक यू डोंट हिट द ग्राउंड, यू वोंट, यू विल नेवर सी द रियलिटी कि क्या हो रहा है, कैसे.
Hmm.
तब तक हम ऐसे ही रहते हैं कि ठीक है, हमें तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा ना. वी फील कि some this kind of a thing will never happen to us, and until a day
Hmm.
comes when we hear that, oh, ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये उसके साथ हो गया, ये उसके साथ हो गया. तब तक हमको कुछ
Hmm.
रियलाइज नहीं होता. हमें लगता है अरे सब ठीक है, अपने साथ नहीं होना, ये तो किसी और के साथ हो रहा है
Hmm.
बाहर. बट वी फॉरगेट दैट वी आर लिविंग इन द सेम वर्ल्ड. तो अगर कल
Hmm.
को किसी और के साथ हो रहा है तो तुम्हारे साथ भी हो सकता है. तो वही.
And just to like maybe this is going to pessimistic, but ऐसा नहीं है कि the entire world is like that कि कुछ ना कुछ बुरा चल रहा है. There are many मतलब I'll say just to bring that optimism कि there are many good things happening as well. There are many people who are working in these fields doing something good for people, and बहुत ऐसे लोग भी है who are donating a lot of time, plus there are people who are donating a lot of money to these causes. So yeah, like that is probably the balance which is there in the society.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make it pessimistic, but the thing is कि जब भी इस तरह की चीजें होती है ना, तो मुझे बहुत ही बुरा फील होता है, सीरियसली. लाइक यू माइट हैव
Mhm.
सीन दे पोर्ट्रेट इन मूवीज एज वेल, और जब वो रियलिटी आपके सामने रखी जाती है, एंड देन व्हेन यू सी, ओ माय गॉड, दिस हैपेंड, राइट, एंड दिस इज व्हाट
Mhm.
पीपल डिड, एंड देन आई एम लाइक, क्या, I am just at loss of words. That's what I would say, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, that's the thing. But ठीक है, I mean, let's not go too deep into it, otherwise otherwise I will
Yeah.
start crying, and then you might also start crying.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this reminds me of something. Ki, as I said, the NGO I work for is called CRY. So as like within our volunteer group, we always used to say this that we work and try to bring smiles to faces.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. Yeah. तो ठीक है, तो हमने काफी कुछ डिस्कस करा वॉलंटियरिंग के बारे में. तो आई थिंक यू हैव टोल्ड राइट कि क्या क्या चैलेंजेस यू फेस व्हाइल यू वॉलंटियर. ठीक है. So one thing I got that we come across such real life stories or people who have gone through so much, right? And so that is one form of a challenge, right? But another form of what other kind of challenges do you face while you are doing this volunteering? Do you have to compromise? Do you have to adjust? Do you have to, I don't know, there can be other challenges as well.
I'll say one challenge is key. See, when you're going and working for someone, okay, so if you have to ensure that nothing should go wrong, okay. For example, if you're working, मतलब मैं अपने केस से ही relate करके बताता हूँ अगर तो when I'm working with children, okay, there are a group of children who are coming to a place where I'm teaching them. I have to ensure कि they should be safe. कुछ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए उनके साथ. मतलब मैं उन्हें गेम्स खिला रहा हूँ तो आई हैव टू इंश्योर कि किसी को चोट नहीं लगनी चाहिए. किसी के मतलब मैं जो भी बोलूं किसी के सेंटिमेंट्स को हर्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. मतलब वो थोड़ी चीजें होती है. जैसे आई विल से कि obviously you do not have that wrong intentions anytime, but हो सकता है कि people perceive it wrongly. जैसे in the beginning I used to go to a slum area which was occupied by people which where people of who used to follow Islam used to stay. Okay? And all of the volunteers we were Hindus. Okay? अभी इसमें कुछ नहीं है. मतलब it's just the normal thing, but you have to ensure कि कोई किसी चीज को wrongly नहीं ले ले कभी भी. For example, हम हमेशा ये करते थे कि if there is a Hindu festival, ठीक है, तो उसमें हम कभी छुट्टी नहीं देते थे बच्चों को. But if there is any Muslim festival, if there is Eid, तो हम हमेशा उन्हें छुट्टी देते थे. तो that is something very small, but ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें maybe people will never mind, but you never know. अगर कभी किसी ने माइंड कर लिया, कभी किसी बच्चे को फॉर एग्जाम्पल वहां पर पढ़ते हुए चोट लग गई, किसी को कुछ हो गया, अगर आप कोई गेम खिला रहे हो, कोई बच्चा हार गया, उसने बुरा मान लिया एंड फिर उसका कोई दूसरा परसिवरेंस चला गया, तो उन चीजों को थोड़ा माइंड में रखना पड़ता है. बट हाँ, दैट इज देयर. एंड समटाइम्स जैसे कोई बच्चा है, फॉर एग्जांपल ही इज और शी इज इन्वॉल्वड इन चाइल्ड लेबर, ठीक है, एंड यू गो टू देयर पेरेंट्स एंड try to explain them ki why is it wrong. So it might happen ki parent might say mera bachcha hai, why, who are you to interrupt in our life. Okay, and वैसे situation में maybe you are in an area which is new to you, anything can happen. So that is there. But हाँ, I'll say कि उतना extreme मेरे साथ कभी कुछ नहीं हुआ, but I have heard stories of people जिन्होंने अपनी like full life ऐसे किसी cause को दे दी. They have faced like things which like more extreme things. But हाँ, मेरे साथ कभी ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं luckily.
That's true. I mean, it's very sensitive, I would say. Sometimes it gets very sensitive. And the thing is that you, even if you want to explain it to them, they might not even listen to you. They are like, हमारा बच्चा काम करेगा नहीं तो हम खाएंगे क्या, तो खाएगा क्या. They might come up with those kind of things, right? Because वहां तो बात एक मील की है. It's not about कल क्या होगा. It's about अगले पल का खाना का इंतजाम होगा या नहीं होगा, right? तो हाँ, I mean, I can imagine कि क्या when you know that someone is not doing right and you go ahead and they still don't listen to you no matter what you say. I know that feeling. Like you can get pissed off, literally pissed off. I'm like, dude, मैं तेरे लिए बोल रहा हूँ और तू मुझे ही सुना रहा है, हैं? So yeah, I mean, I can understand it. It's so difficult. But yeah, it's difficult. That's why I think it's worth doing it. So that's also there, I feel. Cool.
Yeah.
Hmm. So any other interesting aspect which you love about volunteering, or you might have uh, got while you are volunteering?
Which I love about volunteering is something like when you actually see the impact. ठीक है. So I'll tell you, मतलब ये actually बहुत gradually होता है. Maybe impact काफी छोटा आएगा. I'll tell you a story. So there was a child. I used to teach him around 2017 or 18. ठीक है. I used to teach him maths. He was in class 7. ठीक है. And at that age he didn't know basic things like addition, subtraction, वो सब भी नहीं आता था उसे. तो मैंने उसे एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड डिवीजन, ये 4 टॉपिक सिखाए. ठीक है. रिसेंटली आई मेट अनदर वॉलंटियर जो अभी उसे पढ़ा रहा है. लाइक he shifted to Bangalore recently, but उससे पहले वो उसे पढ़ा रहा था. ठीक है. तो ऐसी बात हो रही थी. तो he was telling me कि उसका बेसिक्स काफी अच्छा था. उसे एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन बहुत अच्छे से, एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, डिवीजन काफी अच्छे से आते थे. तो मैंने उसे आगे के टॉपिक्स पढ़ाए. Okay, now that volunteer didn't know कि I was the one जिसने वो टॉपिक्स उसे पढ़ाए थे. तो वो जो सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलती है ना, to get to know कि हाँ, something which you did is having an impact. That is like the best feeling which you can have.
Yeah, I mean, you made a difference to somebody's life, right? Yeah, I think आई मीन उससे उससे बड़ी खुशी और वो जो फुलफिलमेंट होता है ना, वो किसी में नहीं है यार. ये तो है. ये इवन आई हैव फेल्ट दैट, लाइक नो मैटर मैं कुछ भी करूं अपनी लाइफ में कि मैंने ये कर लिया, मैंने वो कर लिया, ये वो, बट at the end of the day when somebody comes to me and says that hey Kavita, because of you I could do that, or the way you helped me, or the way you motivated me, it really helped me to make a breakthrough, right, in some or the other aspect of life. So I feel really happy. I feel like wow, like उससे बड़ी खुशी कुछ होती ही नहीं है. when you know, अरे वाह, मेरी वजह से किसी की लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा हुआ, right? तो
something which we never imagine कि मैं किसी के लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा, कुछ इम्पैक्टफुल कर भी सकता हूँ.
हाँ, करेक्ट. मतलब अभी फील कि अरे मैंने तो बस थोड़ा सा ही कुछ किया था, उसके लिए we can't even realize कि मे बी हमारे लिए जो बहुत छोटी सी चीज हो, उस बंदे के लिए इट माइट बी अ वर्ल्ड. मे बी मेरे लिए किसी से 10 मिनट बात करना और उसका हालचाल पूछना, या उसको थोड़ा बहुत कुछ बताना कि भाई देखो अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो ऐसा कर लो, ये वो, मे बी मेरे लिए इट्स नॉर्मल कि ठीक है बता दिया. बट मे बी उस पर्सन के लिए इट मीन्स समथिंग एल्स, because I talk to him or her when he or she really needed it, right? So
definitely,
yeah, I mean the only thing is that you just have to do things, you just have to help. That's all you should focus on, rather than thinking कि अरे मैं ये करूंगा तो क्या होगा, कुछ होगा भी या नहीं होगा. That's secondary. The thing is that you are doing your bit. That's what is most important, I feel. So
yes.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, any other final thoughts, because I don't have any more questions, to be honest, because today's conversation, I find it more touching, and I feel that it's something which can really change uh, our view
Mm-hmm.
at how we see volunteering, and how volunteering can impact and help us make a difference in other people's lives. So any final thoughts you have, or any message you want to give to the people who are watching our podcast?
I'll say just this key. There have been times when people told me that yeah, you talk so much about काय कुछ और बताओ अपने लाइफ में, कुछ और भी है क्या तुम्हारी लाइफ में? So I remember मैंने एक Toastmasters club में ही I gave a speech where I had told something about Kai, and that was one of the feedback. So I tell people कि like I have just volunteered maybe 1/5 of my life, but that has made me the person I am right now. काफी काफी change आया है, काफी impact आया है. I have made मतलब the best friends here, the best mentors here. Plus I have enjoyed a lot. काफी मतलब ऐसा अलग अलग चीजों पे काम किया है, बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी है, काफी कुछ मतलब बच्चों को सिखाया है. तो it has been a very very interesting journey. And मैं ये बोलूंगा कि maybe someone doesn't volunteer for long, like you do not go and volunteer for a year or two, but at least you should try doing it. It is very fun, plus learning, like you will get to see a very different perspective. So ek baar, at least once in their lives, everyone should do this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, literally, if you really want to touch people's lives, I think the best way is to just get in there and just do your bit, whatever you can, and just make a start. That is what is most important. Later you can manage, right? But once you make a beginning, that's what matters. So yeah, I mean, it's really wonderful. That's really nice. So I don't have uh, any final thoughts on this, because this conversation was more like kind of moving, kind of heart to heart conversation, in which really uh,
I made you
I
speechless.
yeah. You made me you just took me back to my childhood, where in front of my mom I used to be speechless. So
Oh.
that's how but the reasons are different, so I'm happy. There I was scared, here I'm really moved. So that's the difference between being speechless. So yeah, I mean, I would say that each and every one of us should volunteer, because anything, it's not just about you volunteer about child rights, but it can be anything. There are so many things to volunteer, right?
Yeah, definitely. मतलब मैंने चाइल्ड राइट्स पे या बच्चों के साथ काम किया, बट देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स लाइक there are causes related to animals, to
Correct.
environment, to equality in life, to, like there are many topics. मतलब हाँ, but I'll say कि pick one topic which you have the most interest in. And मतलब ऐसा होता है ना कि इतने सारे टॉपिक्स है, अब मैं किस पे
हाँ,
काम करूं, मे भी थोड़ा थोड़ा
हाँ,
सब पे कर दिया, उसका एक्चुअल कुछ इम्पैक्ट नहीं आया. तो
हाँ,
पिक अ टॉपिक एंड उसके बाद इन्वेस्ट योर टाइम इन इट.
हाँ. Basically pick anything which you really care about. That's all I would say. Yeah, I mean, it's need not be like, ठीक है, for you it was child rights. For me it can be making sure that uh, okay, I don't even know how to say it. So making sure that the well-being of people, right? Not just about physical, but about mental, right? Because I feel ki if
Yes.
this is in place, then you can do each and everything in your life. There is nothing which you cannot do. But if this is not at right place, then even the smallest of things, you will feel that it's just a mountain standing in front of you, right? So for me,
And
I
in a country like India,
yeah,
मतलब ये topic is something which people never speak about, but
correct,
it impacts our life as much as physical health does.
correct, correct. And it's not even just about that we talk about depression and all, right? That is bit kind of extreme. Like once people are
Mm-hmm.
going through something which is very, very like extreme. But even if you see normally, even if you talk to your friends or family, sometimes they are going through things, but they just don't express. They are like, क्या फर्क पड़ता है kind of attitude, right? But the thing is कि वो जब till the time you don't share, no one will ever be able to know what's going on in your life. Forget about helping
Hmm.
you, right? So yeah, basically that's something which I care about. I care about that, about the well-being, mental well-being of people, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I whenever I can, I try to do my bit. I try to talk to people who are going through a certain thing, and I try to give my 2 cents to them that it's okay, whatever I can provide. So I try to help them. That's the least I can do, right? So yeah.
And like picking from your example only, see, you do not have to actually matlab, register with an organization,
Uh,
become a volunteer formally. But if you are giving, in your case, if you are giving a listening ear to someone, ki, I'm there when someone is in trouble. That's your bit. That's what you are doing to improve the lives of people. So it is not necessary कि हाँ मतलब वो you should have a volunteer ID
yeah,
card, register
yeah,
with some organization. किसी भी छोटे से छोटे फॉर्म में you can be there for someone.
yeah. Yeah, it's just about picking something which you care about. That's all. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. So cool. So yeah, this brings me to the end of today's conversation. And so before we leave, I'm not going to ask your 2 cents because I have been already asking you for. Yeah, yeah. So I think you got it. So, but I would definitely love to know how you felt while coming to this podcast, and how was your experience? What did you feel? So that's something I would love to know about. You can say
I think
anything,
it was
okay?
like
No need to praise me or nothing, nothing. It's not like that.
yeah, I'd say कि it was definitely my first experience coming to a podcast telling about a topic. तो ठीक है मतलब I would say कि it is good that a friend invited me तब मतलब ठीक है casual था मैं बोल पाया otherwise I don't know कि क्या होता है if someone like formally invites me कि बोलो इस topic पे I don't know मतलब उस situation में क्या होता है तो ठीक है it was a good experience definitely.
Yeah. For me, that's enough. For me, that's really enough. Like good experience. Okay, got it. Ho gaya. So my aim is not to make these conversations very formal, because I feel when you are formal, you hold back a lot of things, and I don't want to do that. As the
Mhm.
name suggests, it's candid convo. So I want people to be as candid as possible. Just put your or pour your heart out, whatever you want to talk about, right? So that is my intention for this podcast. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
cool. So thank you so much, Hemant, for first of all accepting my invite at a very short notice, and second for really sharing and choosing a topic which made me feel really moved and touched by what you do and what you care about and what you have devoted a part of your life to something. So that really inspires me, right? And it tells me that, yeah, whatever satisfaction or fulfillment we are looking for, it might be just there. Maybe we just need to volunteer for a cause which we care about. Maybe it will come from there, right? So that's something which I got from today's conversation, and I feel really, really uh, happy right now. So thank you so much for coming to my podcast. And yeah, anything
Okay,
else you
so
want to say?
with this last sentence, you made me feel overwhelmed. Uh,
Oh,
okay,
no,
so
no.
yeah, definitely thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed being there and sharing my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank you. Thank you. I feel I will just continue to say thank you and this won't end. So, really, I have to say now that thank you, Hemant, for coming to this podcast. And my dear friends who are watching us right now, I will be back next week with a weird or maybe a quirky topic with a new guest. And yeah, we would have a wonderful conversation next week as well. So thank you, Hemant. This is Kavita Joshi. This is Hemant signing off. Bye bye.